Hey, YouTubers, it's your boy Domination. This is back at the basics. You're gonna do since I would do text, baby. $9 back. You know what it is. Know what it is. Know what it is. Know what it is. Real man rise up. Fake man rise down. Real woman rise up. Fake woman rise down. Dr. Bar preacher. Only place go get it. 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 Only place go get it is right back at the basics. You're gonna do since I would do text, baby. $9 back. You know what it is. 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 You know, only is. Only place you're gonna get it, only place you ever gonna get it is right back at the basics. And today's topic I'm gonna talk about is I got a video. Excuse me. I got a video I want to play right quick. If this video it explains everything that a lot of kids. I'm not attacking at the kids or nothing like that. They need to start telling these children the truth. And not just our people's children, but everybody else's children. Then why is this world it is what it is right now? And they can't hide this truth much longer. They got to tell them what's going on. And here's a video and explain why. And I'm gonna give my review of this. I'm gonna give you my take my preview of this video, what I'm going to talk about. Here's a video. Here's the video. Sorry. Here's the video right here.
Hey, white people! What's up?
We're kids from Ferguson, Missouri.
You know that little place where white police shot an unarmed black teen in the face? It was a national disgrace. So listen up. Because we're here to talk to you about race. Sometimes white people are right. And is racism still a thing? Spoiler alert. Yeah. That's because Beyonce is on your playlist and you voted for Obama.
Doesn't mean that our generation
I've seen it in a racist drama. Racism is not one of those things. So go away. If you pretend it doesn't exist, like Crocs or Justin Bieber. All this focus on race makes me uncomfortable.
uncomfortable
Try being black. Fine facts.
when the NYPD stops white people.
They frisk only 8%.
When they stop blacks and Latinos, they frisk 85%.
What's this smell? That would be racism. We just want to equal shot in life.
Not to be shot to death.
It's you people who are making this about race. I don't see color. Really?
Did you know that employers
Don't even need to see the color of our skin for the discrimination to begin. Resumes with black sounding names like Kamisha or Tyrone are 50% less likely to be called in for a job interview
you need exact same resume
with white sounding names. But is this injustice? Surprising.
on 40% of white.
As to say white people are more hardworking than black people? You people are just playing the race card. No one's playing cards. This is not a game. Complain about this race card BS. It's just an obvious way of criminalizing and marginalizing people. So stop. Saying my best friends are black. You get a cookie. Here's a hot tip. You're not really being a friend. We try saying racism has reached its end. Racism is not over, but I'm over racism.
The continued discrimination against black people.
Us white people, we have to erase it. And the first step is to own up and face it. In America, fighting for equal treatment,
It's not a black thing.
we all have to do our part.
Be the shit, get a shirt. $5 from each shirt goes directly to charities working in communities to fight racism. Band together against racism.
Racism is not over, but I'm over racism.
Okay. I know y'all saw the video, right? I'm all for it, what they're trying to do. But here's the thing. It's not just white folks that's the problem. I know what people are going to be shocked when I say this. I understand. It is a racism country going on. I can't stand racism towards us and towards everybody else. But there's racism everywhere. It is not just black racism. There's Mexican racism. There's Latino racism. I mean, there's Latino racism. There's Asian racism. There's Middle East racism. There's Jewish racism. There's black racism. There's white racism. So we have to be extremely careful when we blame other groups. And I know people want some answers, but what did I just let's say what I just tell you, that the reason why a lot of these things are happening, what's going on, it got something to do with scientific racism. We need to speak about that as black community. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't believe this kind of stuff, but you got to look at it. If it is true that they found original skulls that found not only by the Georgian, by over there in Ethiopian, by over there in Malay race and a Mongol race and red race, that explains why a lot of these things are going on. That explains when you hear racist terms. It have a lot to do with it. It goes way back to America not even born yet. It goes way back to Christopher Columbus discovered before America, America's already discovered after Christopher Columbus. It goes back way back to all these ancients of years and the men of arts and of the history and the books and science, man, all that stuff. It goes back. It happens 300,000 of years ago, that I do believe. 300,000 of years ago. And I do believe this. Let's say that the black people, Homo sapiens, I know what people going to think. It started from East Africa. Do your research. It happened 200 or 500 or 45 or 35,000 of years ago. Thousands of years ago. It went back years ago. Some say that the Homo erectus of the birth of humanity, for all humanity, from all the way from Africa to Asia to Europe to North America, to Africa, Asia, and Europe, all the way to South America to North America. There's a lot of connection behind that. See, we need to start telling our people the truth, because we can't just sit there and say it's just Caucasian. It's everybody, even us. I know we've been programmed. I understand it's fucked up what happened to that Trayvon and Michael Brown. My hearts and go prayers. But there's a reason behind that stuff, what's going on. I really do believe this, and I know some people ain't gonna believe this. I have a documentary on my page, and they can watch it, because it explains every goddamn thing. What black people are the Homo sapiens. White people are the Neanderthals. If you don't believe it's East European, from all the way from French, you got to look at it. That explains between the French have a revolution against Russia or whatever you call it. All these racial Nazis coming out. That explains it. And another explains about the Black Panthers and the whole nation of Islam started with West Africa. And another thing, with the Nazis come from out of that India theory and all that, from the Aryan race, when they mix, when they mingle within the Turkish people, or not Polish, Pelis, or whatever you want to call it, Iran. You know what I'm talking about. It's been so long. That explains, man. That explains why these things are going on. That explains it. That explains it why. This is why that Ebola was spreading. It was over depopulation control. Who could get their hands in control? What's been known as civilization and the birth and organization of Africa. They want to control Africa. See, this is the reason why that they know Africa is giving birth of humanity. Without us, America wouldn't be here. In South America, everything wasn't for us. But they figured that, well, they don't need blacks no more. Come on, there's a real reason why blacks separate from other blacks and other races, and separate whites and other races, and whites separate other races. There's a real reason. If you could grow one egg, instead of become one egg, became 2 eggs or 3 or 4 eggs. Each eggs or 5 eggs or 6 eggs. There are 6 races, but the original race were one. And I guarantee you, why you think they call black people color? They never call other people of color as black. They don't call Asians or Latinos or Middle East or anybody else of color, but they always call black people color. Why is that? Because they're trying to say color is the first original color. It's misunderstood, and it had to be black. What do you think the A ball and the white ball? See, the white ball is the white dominance. But where you get the dominization genes from? Black. It had to be. And also is receiving of skinnery that comes from white. You gotta look at it. There's a main reason. This is why white people tinted their fucking skin for some reason. To try to look like the same people they could not stand, they couldn't hate. Now, I'm not saying everybody can't get no skin cancer. But what I'm saying is that they the only race can get skin cancer. And nobody wants albinoism. Have you ever heard that black people never talk about binaism, and they never talk about from binaism, not just only our community, but the but the white community as well? They know the truth. This is why this is why my people bleach their skin. They have bleaching creams so they can blend in and be part of it from the white world and the white society. Because deep down, whites and blacks lost apart from each other. Some way. I really do think if it be white folks came out of us, or we came out of them, or we met apart from each other. One of the ways. The Neanderthals and the Homo erectus, when the Homo sapiens and the Neanderthals mess around having kids, and that's became the bloodline and the tree of life. It started from Africa. Think about that for a second. Just think about it. I used to believe that Caucasian was the first race. I used to believe that, but it's impossible. Then again, it might be. But blacks can produce white, but white cannot produce black. For some reason, no wonder why whites adopted African kids, because there's something part about their melon. They lost their melon in the caves. And also, black people stand in the sun so long, especially dark-skinned, shaded blacks, the more they stand in the sun, they start paling and start turning white. And whites start burning it and start burning up with black. They're tainted black. This is why they lost part from each other. And you got Asians straight their eyes where they look more like certain European looking men, and it started some of the Middle East because they far from the Middle Eastern, from the Middle Age, for they could look like European or Asian. And that explains where the Native Americans, they come out of black people than brown, than instead of a little white. I'm not saying there's no white Indians, but let's say if it were. See, this is why that dear white people are coming out. Because that movie is based about trying to say stop complaining about white folks, and that's what that's a liberal, white liberal guilt movie to make it feel the shame what their ancestors did. But guess what? There were white slavery as well. Then became black slaves. Then you got the Mongols who be enslaved, and then you got. I know some people ain't gonna believe this. We need to get at the scientific racism that done all the damage, not only to the blacks, but whites and everybody else. I'm not saying that black might be the first color in mine. I don't know what it is, but I will tell you this: you gotta wonder who been what do you call you know how Jesus Christ, he was crucified. Everybody been crucified, but it's they always say it's blacks, but you got whites been crucified very much, especially with dirty whites. But the ones with the European mixed with Mongol men, they don't get it very much. See, this is why. And then you got the black people who are never get that they were free blacks, but they act like more like European and be defined as white, because remember, there are dark Europeans in Europe. Same thing, there are dark Caucasians from Africa. There's South Africans. There's a white South African. There's Chinese South Africans. You got to look at it this. Every original birth became humanity from all races. Maybe I could be wrong on this, but you gotta wonder. And the original Neanderthals was Bushmen, sent people, sent people. You gotta look at it. That explains it. That explains it. And I really do believe that the original Neanderthals, it had to be from Russia or Georgia. I guarantee it'd be Georgia. Because you gotta wonder. It explains every goddamn thing that we live in a society. There's a lot of tribes. Then you got Malays, that Latino race would mix with black and European. And then you got Mongol mixed with European and black, but mostly European and then black as well. But we all come from different parts and different other races of people. So we need to start talking about this. It might be the first, not just first black, the first white, the first Asian, first this, first that. But every race of humanity started from Africa. This is why they want to control Africa. They knew that Africa is the birthplace of humanity from the Homo sapiens. They know it. They know it. Even the white people know this. Even blacks and even our government. Oh yeah, they know it. They know it. This is why they go to Africa. They want to control Africa because the people losing population growing. I don't know how true that is. They got to create more people and crucify new people. I don't know how true that is, but you got to wonder. We're being lied to for hundreds of years ago. And I always wondered. And they said black can produce any other color. Do your own research. Black can produce any other color. What would this world be if it wasn't for not only Latinos or Middle East, Jews, and Native Americans and Asian or any other race? What would America would be if it wasn't for whites? But what would this world would be if it wasn't for blacks? That's something to think about. Think about that for a second. Think about that for one moment. There's a real reason why all this stuff is happening. And I guarantee you, and I always wondered as Jesus is black, because like I said again, because people have been saying for years that who in more religion than anybody is black. Now some people say that white people have been part of Christianity. Yeah, that's true. So is Latinos, so is Middle East, so is everybody. But who more religion? I have to say is my own. I have to say that. Some people say we can't practice our ancestral language. They rob us by our name. They rob us by our land, where we came from, the name, all that stuff. But where the damn slave boats, if that's the case, if we come out here. Now, shout out to Black Tree TV. But our people need to start telling the truth of the truth. Why these things would happen, not sit there and lie. And then Caucasian people need to start telling their children the truth and quit being scared. Latinos, Middle East, everybody, if they know the real truth, why these things are going on. But they're not going to tell the truth because they feel like these kids don't see it for themselves. Because they're going to feel like they live in the Nile. The images, everything, words are mean something for some people. Now I see why they hate black, because they still thought that black people are cursed. And that's the dumbest theory I ever heard in my life. That's the dumbest theory. Because if that's the case, if black people are inferior, then what the hell that all these dark-skinned came from not only our people, from other races of people as well, from Filipinos to Italians to Middle East, even comes to Native Americans. They can't deny that fact. My people been calling yellow hammers, yellow bama, whatever you want to call it. They've been called dark chocolate skin. They've been called that yellow bone, and also you got to look at it. Who do that to any other race of people that does that? I tell you, blacks. And I guarantee it had to be true that they say black is the most dominant color. And maybe so. If I have a different color pen, I can find it introduce of what experience myself, see if this theory is true, what people saying. And this whole thing about the tribe of Jabez and all that, come on, man, come on. They was been slaved by Africans. Africans sold other Africans like Europeans sold Europeans. But the thing is, they got the same mindset, but the difference is that what they're trying to this is what I believe. I really do believe they slave black people because they saying the black people are descendants of Slavic people. It's a language. There was a brother had a video and explained, and I'm gonna download it for y'all because y'all gotta see it for yourself. He even said that's what the original order, how Caucasians do things from each other and start doing from other people and get them volunteer to slave each other and then get their own people do that. And get other people to slave their own people. I mean, you gotta wonder. And I'm telling you who the real problem, United Nations, because they came up with this term, scientific racism. They do not want people to come together because we're gonna find out who we really are. We all come from the root of the same family tree. It's just from good seed of it, from the bad seed of the tree, and the good seed and the good seed of the good tree. You gotta wonder if there's a garden in even Africa. I'm gonna go over there and see if it's still up there because you gotta look at it. And the Ku Klux Klan and skinheads, man, the special Ku Klux Klan, they ain't nothing but the original Knight Templar and it's got a bit of Masonry. You gotta look at it. And I guarantee Prince Saul was Black Panthers and Nation of Islam and Boule and all the rest of them from orchestrated Black Panthers and the Black Israelites and all the rest of them. Now they're coming out. They try to separate from whites and blacks apart from each other. That's bullshit. So fuck these organization groups from the white and the black because they sit up there, they're being hypocrites, they're not telling the truth. Tell them the truth. Be a man about it. Tell them the truth, how they got here in this world. From all the way from Africa to Asia to Europe to South American to North American. It's all connected. It's all connected. Everything is happening for a reason. From Hurricane Katrina to 9/11, to them bombings and all this other stuff going on. Everything's happening for a reason. Who controls all these regions of the world and not reaching from control the entire world to entire people? If you don't believe me, where do you think the original Georgia came from? It comes from another word, Georgian. It's a race of people. It's a European race of people that they found they thought is the beautiful race of men and women, and that's what the original term Caucasian came from. Africa came from who defeated the Carnival African Candidates. Some say without cold or hard, free from our cold without hard, from all the way from Europe, and somehow some way. See, this is why that black people, white people, so damn different from each other. Blacks was dark and darker color, and white people were pale or pale mint color. But somehow, some way, they were dark Caucasian, but they lost alignment of their skin, and they become, instead of being darker, they become lighter. And black people were darker and darker color, but what happened was, instead of staying in the sun too long, they start pale. Instead of become darker, they become lighter as well. This explain, and other races happen the same damn thing, and so on. It's passed on to generation. See, people need to do their research. You want to know the real truth about slavery? Tell these kids, especially black kids, tell them the truth. Where the original racism actually came from. Anybody can be racist, but we all supposed to respect for humanity. See, this is why this racism shit is a bunch of bullshit. Stop listening to these goddamn white supremacists and black supremacists because they all bullshit. Because if they would start telling the people the truth, and there's always some tension between black and white. And I always ask myself, why is that? Is it has something to do that Ku Klux Klan slaved their own people from the group was the Slavic people from all the way from Russia to German to Turkish that they explain from the from the Aryan race. I never know if y'all watched this movie called The Meteor Man. Black people believe in that same trait with the Europeans. They were showing black people with this golden flakement hair and browner colored eyes. They still believe in that theory that Aryan race with blonde hair and blue eyes and golden brown hair and brown eyes. Instead of it was come from blonde hair and blue eyes, but it came from black hair and brown eyes. They start messing around, especially with the Moors. They would start slaving Spain and Italy and even over in Europe and Middle East. They got tired of them fucking with their women, so they started killing them off after what they did and enslaved their own people on top of that. Same thing the Ku Klux Klans did. But they was original of the Knight Templars. See, you need to study this shit. Do your research. I did my research. I seek in search of history. You got to seek the search of history. Now I see how we got here at this point as a people. But you got to want all race of humanity came from one race. And the whole entire human race. It doesn't matter if black or white or Latino, they all came from original race or color. If they're not the match of their color, they're not this or they're not that. No, we all one race of people, one race of God, and one race of and believing from all equal from all. So don't forget, keep doing what you're doing and tell the truth. And once we can remain to be free, we all should be free from the humanity and manism and all this bullshit. But the real slavery is come from the enslavement of the mind, not from the color, not from a certain facial treatment, whatever the background or culture or language. It's whatever parts you're from. But don't be parts of the system for worth yourself and who you are. And that's all I got to say about that. It's your boy Domination. This is Back of the Basics. Chuck of the Deuces. How we do text, baby. Until next time, all right? All right. Peace and I'm out.